What's up, guys? This is Mikey Goodfellas7, and this is Goodfellas Gaming. We are playing some Spillover. We're playing the Spillover Challenge from the Spillover event. I wanted to show you guys basically how you can get through this event. Very simple, or simply, I should say. But yeah, sit back, enjoy, grab your snacks. Let's get ready for this. Alright, so I purposely started this video out on the Phase 2. Just because it seems like this is what a lot of people have trouble with when they play Spillover. So we're doing Phase 2. We're starting out. You got to get three. You got to get 3 of these points shut down, which would be these Spillover points. And as you can see here, we just did one and we started another one, so we did back to back. What you want to do here is obviously stock up on items and supplies, so you can, do back-to-back points, because I don't know if you noticed, but when you get later on in the game, and if you take your time in this challenge, the time actually works against you. So you want to try and do these first couple, especially in Phase 2, as fast as possible. As you can see here, we're trying to hold down this one point. They did destroy the canister, so we had to grab another one. As you can see here, this is just playing with randoms. I'm playing as Sophia, and the randoms are playing as Tachanka and Doc. So we got heals, and then we also have the turret that he sets up, which is perfect for this game mode, because you can really, defend points with Tachanka very easily, very well. Not too sure what he's shooting at. Maybe it's through the wall. I think it's through the wall, but I don't think you can shoot through that wall, so. And then as we go through here, we're just basically clearing out as many as possible while getting, different vantage points. Brought in a auto sentry turret and paralysis grenades. So I come back here, grab some more supplies. I also grab a canister for the next one since we just finished that last one. As you can see here, we just go in balls to the wall. There's no barricading. At least not during Phase 2. I mean, you can if you want to, obviously avoid extra hits, but, there's a certain point when you play this mode that you can actually play through Phase 2 without taking too many hits. And if they break a canister, it's not a big deal. You just gotta work fast so you can work against the clock instead of the clock working against you. As you can see, we're kind of just holding a vantage point with the auto turret. Throwing down paralysis to get rid of the spores on us. Unfortunately, I forgot about this one. That was on me already. But as you see here, we hold down the point and wait for another canister. Unfortunately here, my teammate decided to try and do one by himself across the entire map, so we couldn't help him out. And he ended up going down for good. So it was just us two to deal with the last Phase 2 shutdown site, which we did. We finished that. We took care of that by ourselves with the help of the auto turret. My stupid ass forgets to grab the auto turret, and then it ends up, I believe, going through all its charges. And we ran out of react gear. We had react gear, but I didn't notice until we ran out. And then, so we grab the teammate, bring him back, grab the next canister, finish the one that he was trying to do. At this point, you're kind of just looking at, 4 points. 4 points, phase 3. As far as phase 3, especially if there's only 2 of you, like this situation, or even if there's, even with a full team, you want to, kind of triangulate around the room. Find good vantage points, kind of realize where they're spawning from, or the directions that they're spawning from, and try and cover it. There's usually about 3 to 4 spawning areas that they spawn in when they're rushing the canisters. So at least have, if you have a full team, you can cover 3 of those vantage points, and it'll give you a way easier run in Spillover when you do it that way, because when you're all huddled up in the same area, it's not really good, because you're taking, you're all taking damage since you're so close to each other, and the enemies have one place to run, and that's you or the canister, and usually you're by the canister, so you want to triangulate around it, find your vantage points. In this situation, it's just the 2 of us, so we're kind of, the 2 of us have to cover almost, 2 vantage points apiece. And since it's such a tight corridor, we kind of get in the way of each other. Luckily, he's actually crouching, so it's helping, it's allowing me to see the enemies without having to, shoot through him in a way. So the crouching really helped. You definitely want to do that, especially if you're up front, and you have teammates behind you. It just helps. It helps out everybody in the long run, especially when people have eyes on, other enemies. So as you see here, I have a vantage point here. I can kind of watch 3 directions here. To the right, that 90-degree angle, that doorway, and to the left through the wall there. So as you can see here, I'm just kind of scanning through each vantage point. And luckily, with Sophia's LMGE, that fucking thing holds so much ammo, you can really hold down these points with it. I don't really recommend Sophia for Spillover, but I was using her to kind of just level her up. But her LMG is really helpful. Obviously, Ella has the same LMG as well, since they're basically both from the same, region. So, going on to the 3rd one now. At this point, this is when you definitely want to start using your barricades and your reinforcements, because they send the fucking house at you with the last 2 spillover events. The last spillover zone, they're usually always going to send an apex. But as you can see here, we actually reinforced and barricaded really well, and we had some doors that weren't destroyed fully, so that really helped us, hold back most of these guys. And as you can see here, we both have a vantage point. We're both covering almost 2 to 3 directions apiece. He kind of comes over to try and help me, but he didn't really need to help me as much as cover his vantage point, so that kind of let some of these guys in. But we were able to handle it. I mean, we had him tagged for the most part, which was really helpful. Because when you're blinded, that really helps. That's another thing, as you can see there, you can use paralysis, at the last minute to kind of keep them from hitting the canister, especially if the canister's already been hit enough. If it's a last ditch effort, you can, chuck some paralysis and buy you, you know, maybe 5 or 10 seconds depending on how many you throw. As you can see here, we've reinforced pretty much as we can. We reinforced the broken doors. We luckily had one door that was not broken, so that helped out, but it's about to be. This one was very difficult for us to cover because it was a really tight space and they were pretty much coming from every direction. Not only that, but they had an apex. So, you know, as with apexes, once they know where you are, they start spawning grunts or spikers. Luckily in this case it was grunts. We would have definitely not survived this, but in a clutch move just to kind of save the canister and save us, I pulled out Sophia's stun grenade launcher and her impact grenade launcher to kind of just clear out the room. As you can see there, I kind of just spray and prayed. And that's pretty much it. You know, that kind of gave us the time we needed. Even though the apex was still alive, it gave us the time we needed to finish off the canister. Even though they're still rushing in, as you can see here, we're still covering it, you know. We're doing as best as possible. And we did it. Just obviously watch out for the random spawners that spawn in between spillovers when you make your way to extraction. But that's pretty much it, guys. You know, spillover, definitely one of the more challenging events that they've thrown at us, but not too difficult when you work as a team. Thank you guys for watching. This is Mikey Goodfellas 7 with Goodfellas Gaming. Comment below what works for you in the spillover events. Other than that, we'll see you next time.